We're over here in our feedlot pen, or what we've been using as our feedlot pen, and it's kind of the same story, you know, wash, rinse, repeat from the last time we had some harvest steers. If you remember, the first time we had a tiger stripe and a great big black show calf, kind of the same thing again. This one's more red, but he is the same Brahma cross. He just don't have the tiger striping, and then instead of a black one, we have an ex-show steer that's old Charolais. These guys are a little bit bigger starting out than what that first group was, but I've had such a demand that I don't have time to run one a complete cycle again. I do plan to do that, but I need to meet this demand that I have immediately pressing, and then I can start looking at keeping a more consistent group rotating through and bringing them through the full program. But this next group, and I know I hadn't talked about it for a while, but they got a couple weeks left, and then they will go to butcher. And then we have some more going in July. So we're going to be quite busy feeding steers. I do believe that the farm is going to be shifting more towards the sale of beef, whether it be by the pound or in bulk. I do have hopes to be able to offer that in shipping. So if you might be interested in that, please email me. My email is down in the description. We'll see what we can work out in that instance. But with how outrageously priced a grocery store is, this is the direction I believe we're going to be going, at least for the foreseeable future. We are going to feed our whole corn ration with 3/4 pound of beef trait on top from ADM, and we are going to limit their hay to just a couple pounds per head per day. We want them to focus on filling their gut and their rumen with this corn. It's going to help with growth, marbling. It's going to truthfully sweeten that taste up, butter it up more or less. Now this season is a little different than the last time because the grass and weeds are growing, so they are going to have more than the last couple head did. They are going to have a little bit more to pick around on out in the pens. Right now, we're still kind of getting them adjusted. They were in a feedlot on a pretty good ration, but since I'm going more for these last few weeks on whole corn, we're going to ease them into it. So I've got some oats, some barley, a little bit of molasses, more of like a sweet feed kind of ration, kind of 50-50 split right now, or maybe 60-40 split to help their rumen adjust to this whole corn. And then they'll be on the full whole corn ration for these last couple weeks leading up to their harvest date.
A few moments later.
Although I'd rather attend these sales in person and make my purchases, I'm very thankful for the opportunity I have to be able to watch and bid online. These days, right now, it's about the only way I can afford to stay in business.
Going to be another buck about 10 of here, 290 to life on here, another buck about 10 of here, think it'll be 9 to be 2 behind 290 on here, then I'm going to see a 42X.
Although these weren't the ones we purchased, it is always fun to watch and see what smaller animals are going for. As we continue to grow our feedlot business, we are going to be expanding and having animals of all weight classes eventually.
245, 7 of here, 45 miles, y'all, 7 of here, take it a big, 47 of here, 247 high of here, 45 miles, 7 of here, take it 45 miles, 7 of here, take it 45 miles, 7 of here, must go to here, 245, 7 high, 45 miles, 7 of here, take it a big, 45 miles, 7 of here, 245 miles, 7 of here, take it a big 45 miles, 7 of here. He there, 245, and here, then be partner, he get a big, 75. Make him a Michael 64. Make him a Michael 64.
Let him go to 21. 2-1.
268, 2 and 5, and here, take it a big on a ton of hair. 68, 2 and 5, and here, going to 60 on money to life, and here, 5, take it a big on 7, 70, take it a big 70 ton of hair, 70 to life, and here, take it a big on 7 ton of hair, 270 ton of hair, take it a big on 7 ton of hair, and here, take it a big on 270. You dare than being MP, you take it 5X, NP, 5X. Yeah. NP, 5X. You dare long time Maryland here, guys. 225, 7 of here, and take it a big on 225 and a set of here, 225, and here, 5 here, and I take it a big 225 and a set of here, 225, 7 of here, and I take it a big 225 and a set of here.
We just made it here to the farm. We got off work and we had to go about 45 minutes north to a feed mill to pick up some ADM beef trait. Our more local supplier is having a hard time not only getting it frequently, but getting enough. But that place 45 minutes up north, they keep it in stock in larger quantities. So it's not a big deal. It's worth it to drive that far for what the product is and what it does for us. And we've had plenty of proof of that with the last few steers. I'm thankful for the online format of these sale barns use to be able to buy online. Obviously, I'd much rather be there in person, but having a farm off the job and having to go here, there, and everywhere, it sure makes it easy to still be able to make sure we get our cattle bought. We're still trying to fill some of this pen for the feedlot. I mentioned that we are kind of shifting that way more towards a direct-to-consumer model, providing beef directly off the farm for many reasons, but we've had a lot of growth, a lot faster than what I thought we would. So we're needing to keep the feedlots full. We got harvest dates coming up in next week and in 6 weeks from now. And then we'll have a date in August after that. So we need a few more to fill those appointments up. I do still need to get a feed bin. I haven't decided if I'm going to try and buy one or if I'm going to build one. I know what I'd like, but realistically, from a financial standpoint, can I justify it? I don't know. So I might end up building one, but I still need to get that because I do not like having to just dig through these bulk bags every day. But we're making do with what we got. So here's our beef trait. It's an ADM product. It just says beef feed. I've showed this before, but here's just a better look once again of what it is. This, I'm gonna butcher this, but this Lazo Lossid right here is what makes this so great for when you're feeding whole corn and preventing acidosis. And as well as the new science of the less ground material of chopped corn actually increasing the chances of acidosis by covering more of the rumen. But here you can see all the proteins and the minerals and vitamins that this has. And obviously we do 0.75, 3/4 of a pound per head per day mixed with our whole corn. And because we want to be precise and efficient, we take our scoop and we don't fill it all the way up. We fill it just to the top where it starts overflowing back on top of the handle. Because we know kinda that should be 3/4 of a pound for each of them. So I don't have a can to put this in. We're just gonna close this lid, and I'm gonna keep this in the back of my truck until I can get a storage container for this. I don't know if I showed it a whole lot, but Mojo broke into the front stall not too long ago and crushed all of our feed cans, and anything left in them was either lost and wasted on the ground or consumed. So all of our cans got destroyed, and I've not been able to replace them yet. Not a big deal. We don't feed anybody else really, but these steers are hungry. They are dry lighted. The only food they have is what I give them with this corn, and then we'll put a couple blocks of hay on top of it. There is a little bit growing this season in the lot, but most of it's weeds, so they're not getting a whole lot out of it. But they are hungry because I only feed once a day, and they don't have anything to pick around on a whole lot. So let's get these boys fed. Each steer gets about 30 pounds of corn per day. So this is 2 bucket loads. This is the second bucket. They also get 3/4 of a pound of ADM beef trait, which you see I'm sprinkling on top right now. I've been asked why we limit the hay for the steers, and the reason is they would eat that first and fill their rumen up. We want them to fill up on the corn, not the hay. So we give them just a couple of pounds each, just enough to meet their roughage requirements. Although the Charolais steer on the left looks a lot larger than the crossbred steer on the right, he is much larger framed, and that means that they only weigh about 20 pounds different from one another. Buttercup here, she's got 4 to 6 weeks left in her pregnancy. I'm betting she's got triplets in there again. This was Penelope's mom, and she had triplets last year, so I'd bet, looking at her, she's got triplets again. Well, kind of a little bit of everything video. Excited to have a change. Is always scary, but I'm excited with the direction the farm is moving. Gonna take a more of a direct-to-consumer approach with our beef, be more profitable, be able to save consumers money and provide a better product than they can get at the grocery stores. Mojo saying hi. Really excited about that and all the things we got coming up. I appreciate you watching. If you hadn't already, like and subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Gonna try and continue to stay consistent with content, and it really means a lot that y'all come back each video and help us continue to grow this channel and learn more about starting a farm, farm life, where your food comes from, how it's raised. If you have any questions about anything, leave a comment or shoot me an email. My email is always in the description, and I will see y'all in the next